Hello, welcome to Crafting Ruby Dreams, where I talk about planners, goal setting, writing, publishing, and getting right with my finances. My name's Katie, and today we've got a lot to talk about. I am very thankful for everyone who's joining me here live. If you are on the replay crew, thank you again also for joining me on replay. So I've got some Coke and water here today because I woke up from a nap about 10 minutes ago. A very needed nap, but still dealing with everything, including a little fuzzy in my eyes. So we'll see. Anyway, so I've got a lot to talk about today, and I'm going to start with my haul from the Erin Condren Warehouse Sale that just recently finished. So unfortunately, none of the stuff is still on sale. I will say that I somehow managed to not go back for a second purchase like I have done quite a few years ago during their first warehouse sale that I did after first buying from them. I went back a couple of times and cleared them out of this one particular product. I do have multiples of another product, but I did not go back for a second round of purchases. Very proud of myself for that, because usually I'm like impulse buy, impulse buy, impulse buy. I actually did add things to a cart for a second purchase, but I closed out the window before completing the purchase and then completely forgot about it. So that is why I did not have a second purchase from the EC warehouse sale. That is one thing that I am thankful for ADHD for, is that I totally forgot about that cart after I closed out the window, where normally ADHD gets me in trouble and it's like impulse. So, all right. So first things I got from the warehouse is 2 sets of bookmarks. So just these little types of bookmarks, because I got these to go in my MäksēLife, the daily planner. So this one is the just my type. So this one says today, this one says to do, and this is plan for it. I kind of wish I had gotten multiples of this because it was also like under $3, but I thought they were really cute. And then the other set I got was the Hello Kitty ones. Again, they were cute and cheap. So again, these are just more for the quick reference. And let's see, the third thing I got was this dashboard. So this is for the classic size Erin Condren, the 7x9. The reason I got this, because I don't have any particular plans for it, was to put me over the free shipping threshold. That was it. That was the main reason. So I went for something cheap. This is the mid-century circles design. So it's got priorities to do. On the back, it is, here you can see on the back what it's supposed to look like. So it's got the daily. I've never really used one of these before. I was so close to free shipping that I figured it'd be great. So impulse applaud. It is so hard. The impulse purchases. It's so hard. Please let me know which one you bought, because I'm very curious, but I hope you enjoy it. The main thing that I got during the EC warehouse sale, I got a few. And the reason I got a few, and I probably shouldn't have bought as many as I did, but the reason it was a bit more than a few, are these acrylic desk calendar. It says desk calendar with acrylic stand is what it's called. And it's got mid-century circles design. And the reason I bought this, it's decently sized. You can see it next to my head. Here it is assembled. Let's see. This is what it looks like assembled. So you can see my face around it. It really is intended for you to prop up your, they have a desk calendar thing that you can flip, like kind of like a card stock, I believe. But the reason I got it was, I'm not going to show any of my books. Well, kind of actually. So in the future, when I start doing book signings again, this is obviously, Ms. Beverly is not me, but I can put books up on this. This is an excellent display for books. So I actually got quite a few people to buy these by posting in my one Facebook group that is very publishing professional focused. So this is mass market paperback from Miss Beverly. So that's what it looks like. So if you're traditionally published and you have mass markets, and the thing is, if you are into books and you want to display your books, you can do this too. Again, these are no longer on sale, unfortunately. And here's one from fabulous Tracy Lydia Gardner. So you can see it's a trade paperback size, fits perfectly, perfect fit right there. So again, I got it for doing book signings in the future. And like I said, I got more than a few. So those were my Erin Condren purchases. I will say, this is the one thing, if you've got like really, really fat anthologies as either a book collector or as an author that you're selling, this is a very fat one. The Rogue Affair anthology, very, very fat. Compared to the mass market and the trade paperback, which are both like regular length novels, you can see how much fatter the anthology is compared to them. But you can still fit it comfortably on here, and it will fit, but it is a wee bit oversized. So, oh, interesting. Oh, this is so the Dream Book Planner by Dragon Tree. I think I remember Cindy doing her review of that. I definitely have to go back and take another look at that. Oh, interesting. Oh, undated are free. Just pay for shipping. Okay, I really need to. That is very tempting. Thank you for sharing. So the other haul that I wanted to share, let me just put this back down there, is the More Avenue had the release that was very book focused back in July. And so I bought a sticker organizer, and it's Death by TBR. I particularly like that because my undergrad degree was forensics focusing in anthropology. So I studied a lot of skeletons. And it's just top loading clear pages of for stickers. So if you wanted to do that, I thought you could also use it as a photo album. There's quite a few pages in here, so it's good, nice size. And then I got all of these lovely stickers that were part of this book release. Now, the thing to know about More Avenue is that they can be a bit spicy with their language, which I personally appreciate, but I know is not everyone's cup of tea. And this was the free sampler, pretty cool. And then this was the sampler that was specific to the book release. So you've got a currently reading, your TBR list. We lose ourselves in books. We find ourselves there too. Oh, I really like that quote. So this is about book boyfriends. And then this one is about fairy tales. I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets of these. And yes, I read spicier books. I also have written spicier books, but I like to read them. So that is what this is for. Oh, good point. Planner companies are cleaning out their inventory. Spend less money on the old ones to see if you like it. I think you're absolutely correct on that. Unfortunately, I've seen a couple of warehouse sales go past, like the MäksēLife warehouse sale is now over, but definitely this is absolutely something to watch for in the future. If you're interested in a particular planner, wait for them to go on sale if they don't have like freebies available, or if you want something more than the freebies to try, definitely. So this is always a good reminder. Charge your Kindle. I do have a Kindle, but I also have a Kobo reader. Yeah, I've got a lot. These are just some doodles, again, book related. Here's another set. And then did not finish. I don't have a whole lot of do not finishes, but I'm a firm believer in that unless you are absolutely driven to finish a book, whether or not you like it, I totally get when you have to finish a book because that's more important to you. But if you don't have that particular drive and a book is not working for you, it's not entertaining you, it's not fulfilling something for you as a reader, and you just kind of don't like it, stop reading it. Unless it's like, if you've gotten into the hate reading thing, that's a whole different thing. But if it's no longer worth your time, then just stop reading. Oh, Julia, I need to charge your Kindle. So it's More Avenue, Moore. I really do like her. She's got a lot of really cool stuff. So this is another spicy one. Let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So probably reading smut. I personally, smut is not necessarily my preferred term, but yeah. So that style of story. Again, spicier language on this. So 1, 2, 3. Fuck off, I'm reading. So probably going to get dinged on that, but that's okay because that's what it says. And then not as spicy language, but similar intent. Go away, I'm reading. And oh, yes. Good point. DNF library. Yes. And that's the other thing with library books is that that is not additional money out of your pocket. You have already prepaid for the use of those reads, pennies on the dollar through your taxes that you pay in if you're in the US. So definitely, if it's not working for you, turn it in early, and you're going to make somebody's day if it's got a hold on it. So, and then some more spicier language. What the fuck did I just read? Got 2 sheets of that. This is kind of funny and so true. I got 2 sheets of this, Kindle and Chill, and 2 sheets of this one, Book Haul. So, yeah, so I like More Avenue. I like the spicier language. But that was my book-related sticker haul from them. And so those are available on her website. And so those are my 2 hauls that I wanted to share with you all today. And then something I wanted to talk about because it's the end of the month and something I need to be working on. I did not grab the current August calendar off the back of my apartment door, but what I've started doing to, in some ways, help keep some things in front of my face, again, because of the ADHD, I already had this Erin Condren dust pad, monthly dust pad, and I kind of forgot to use it a couple of times. And Julia, good question. Let me pull this up so everybody can see. Does returning early affect circulation if it's turned in early in a bad way? No, because there is no bad way to turn in something early at a library. A circulation is a circulation. They just count how many times it got checked out. There is no way for a library to check whether or not it was something that somebody didn't like or whatever. It's just, it got checked out and then it got turned in, and that's it. So don't worry about that at all. Just if you are at all interested in reading a book or something from the library, please just check it out. And that helps the book. If you don't like the book, you can leave a review. Some library systems let you leave a review. I believe, I think Overdrive now has that capability of leaving reviews. I'm not positive, but maybe. So, and I do know that there are some libraries catalog systems that allow you to leave reviews. They have plugins and stuff for you to share your opinion about the book. So definitely make use, if your library offers those tools, make use of sharing that, please. Because the library is, I can guarantee you the library is paid for those plugins and services. So make use of them. So going back to the monthly planning. So this is just a regular Erin Condren desk pad. And I have started, like I said, I've got it taped up to the back of my apartment door so that every time I pass, because that's also right where my kitchen is. So I pass that frequently when I'm at home for the day. But I also see it as I'm leaving. It's another visual reminder for me when I have appointments. honestly, when I was putting it up, I felt like I was like back in college, because one of the reasons I really got into kind of like planning in the first place was when I had the realization sophomore year that, oh crap, I've got 3 midterms in the next 3 days and I'm not ready for any of them. So I was like, need to actually pay attention to dates and everything, because part of my ADHD, which I didn't realize was a thing until this year, is a concept known as time blindness, where for me, I actually have a decent sense of time, but it's like, unless I have something noted down and I'm frequently looking at it, or I have all of the reminders set, I don't know that it's coming up. So this is another way for me to help me manage my ADHD. But this is something that you could, for me, it's appointments, and also when I'm working from home versus when I'm working in the office. I really need that reminder for next week because my in-office schedule's changed up a bit. But it's so that it's I need it for that, but you can also use it for meal planning and other stuff like that. Oh, this is a great, I really like this comment because y'all know I love libraries. I'm a librarian, so I love libraries. Using the library to explore the fantasy genre. Excellent. This is the great thing about libraries. It lets you explore new to you genres, new to you concepts, and you can get a taste. And honestly, if you like a book, you can try it out at the library to see if you want to bring it into your space, especially if you have a smaller living space and space for books is at a premium. You can check out at the library first to see if you want it, and then you can decide, okay, no, this is good for my keeper collection. Cookbooks are another great thing to try out at the library, because cookbooks can be really expensive. You may not always want, you may only want it for one particular recipe rather than the whole book. So, all right, let me take a drink. So I've now added the monthly pad. I was already kind of doing it, lived on my desk. But I honestly, sitting on my desk more frequently than not became a notepad. And I had the calendar covered by stuff because I have clutter living all over my place. So it wasn't as visually in my face as it is now, taped to the back of my door. And this is the other thing. It's great use of washi tape. I've got washi tape all over it to keep it up. So using my supplies. So the next topic I wanted to go over was just general life goals updates, since I kind of like these weekly check-ins. And just a note for next week, I will not be doing a live stream next Saturday because I'm doing something for work all day. So I'm just not going to be home at all during the day in order to do it. So I might do it on Sunday. I'm not sure yet. I may just take the entire weekend off, but just as a heads up. So life goals. I'm doing actually pretty good with the goals for kind of being more relaxing and fun. So speaking of all books, I have been reading more books this week. I am on a hockey romance kick, so I've been reading some Mira Lynn Kelly books as well as some Helena Hunting books. I'm enjoying them. Apparently, hockey romance is the thing, or a thing, that I will just try. I don't necessarily like every single hockey romance thing. It's not like I hoover them up without discretion, but I have liked these two authors' writing styles. I do have some issues with some things with one of the authors, but it's also, as my friend Zoe York said on Twitter today, you can acknowledge that you really, really enjoy something while also acknowledging that it's problematic. And so, yeah, there are some choices made by one of the authors in an earlier series that I'm reading a later series right now that is just kind of like, oh, I see growth. I like this. So, yeah, so I'm pleased with that. I also TV, What We Do in the Shadows on Hulu. I really love that. And then a new series that has dropped on Hulu is Welcome to Wrexham, which is a documentary series. And I really like documentaries, but this is specifically about how Rob McElhenney, I think it's McElhenney, from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Mythic Quest on Apple TV. He's an actor. He and Ryan Reynolds paired up to create basically a business to purchase the what's Wrexham's team? The Wrexham Football Club over in Wales. And I forget the team's mascot name, but so this is a documentary series about them purchasing the team and then working to help rebuild the team. Because for anyone who is at all familiar with, well, it's not just Premier League, but the football system in England is that they've got multiple tiers of leagues, and Wrexham is in the lowest level of still full-time professional football clubs, but it's below the top 4 tiers of the ones that you might be most familiar with. Like, I honestly didn't know there was anything below Championship, which is below Premier League. And the reason I know Championship is because the team that I try to cheer for, because I spent a semester in that town, Norwich City, it's a city, they're most frequently in the Championship League. They sometimes make it up to Premier League, but they usually get relegated back down to Championship League. But then there's below Championship League, there are 2 other leagues. Those 4 leagues are pretty much the top of the football pyramid. But then there is another layer below those 4 that is still full-time, but really very, very little money. So that's what Wrexham is in. So it's really interesting. Both as somebody who enjoys sports, somebody who enjoys both of these actors. I find them funny and interesting. And I've spent time in England, and which Wales, different country. And so I'm enjoying it so far. Oh, very cool, Julia. Summer Kindle Challenge has been keeping me reading. Excellent. I really need to, I have a huge pile of books to read. So many. I pretty much call it TBR bankruptcy. There's TBR. A lot of people say TBR pile. I honestly have been calling mine a TBR mountain for the last number of years. And I just declared TBR bankruptcy. And it's like, if I catch something, yay. If I don't, it's okay, because I have a lot. I have so many digital books, thanks between advanced reader copies and what I buy and what I get from the library. It's total book bankruptcy. So I've been doing good with those kinds of fun things. I'm still not back to knitting because I still have a bit of a tennis elbow situation going on, which fun. And I have also been good with staying in touch with the family. I had a FaceTime with my mom last night, spending time out on my balcony just to enjoy the nicer weather. I did something really good for myself last night. Made dinner for myself, like a nicer dinner to celebrate. It was Friday, which was really good because the night before I did not have such a great night. I've been really, really, really feeling the ADHD this week. It's been really frustrating because it's been interfering with getting as ahead in my work as I would like to for the day job, as well as like having trouble getting started on doing things. So yeah, household chores, not as to the point where I would have preferred to have been at. And just kind of, I literally, Thursday night dinner was a thing for me. It wasn't that I had had a huge lunch. Like, there are some days that I end up having a huge / later lunch that I'm like, I'm really not hungry. And so I'm not going to eat something just to eat something if I'm still kind of full from my lunch. So it wasn't that situation, unfortunately, which But I wasn't especially hungry, so I didn't have that physical cue pushing me to go get something to eat. And my brain was it just kept going in squirrel mode, is what I call it, is just kind of like it just keeps going around in circles and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, and kind of like the if you have a Mac beach ball of death or a beach ball of doom, and when a web page is loading and you just get like kind of like the indicator that it's loading and forever loading and not actually moving forward. That's kind of the way my brain was Thursday night. So I ended up finally getting myself moving towards bed. So I did have dinner, which was a breakfast bar essentially. And that was it, because I just knew I needed something to eat before going to bed, because otherwise I'd wake up ravenous. And so to help ensure I stayed asleep for the night, I had that. But yeah, it was not the best for me. And I was still feeling that yesterday too. When I was talking with my mom, she was just like, you don't sound good. You don't sound like you're okay. And so it was an interesting conversation with her. I also, because of that, have not made progress on making the health appointments with various providers that I need to make. So again, very hopeful I can get that done this coming week. And I also want to continue reading. Like I said, my work schedule's changed up a bit, and because I've got this thing going on next Friday, I also am doing something fun that is work adjacent on Tuesday night. I'm going out to the Nats game, the Nationals game on Tuesday night, because there's a work event there that night. So I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't been to a Nats game since April, and I'm hoping I need to take a look at the weather, hoping the weather isn't too bad. So I always have fun at Nats games, and honestly, I love ballpark food. It's always a treat for me. I've always loved ballpark food. So that's my schedule for this coming week, is just have fun and just enjoy it. I am writing-wise. I'm not going to say that this is something that managed to escape the ADHD issues, because I still had some issues with starting doing my writing sprints, but I did manage to get all of my writing sprints done that I wanted to accomplish this week. So I got all 12 sprints done. I got 2 chapters written, and I was able to get my chapter worksheets done. I actually still have to do the one that I get done today for the first chapter for next week, but that's actually going well. And I think because the story itself is going well and I'm having fun with it still, that's helping. That it's like I'm enjoying going back into the story. So it's again a lower barrier to starting. So kind of like I was talking in Sarah Cannon has her Publish and Thrive course going on right now. And I was there was a question with regards to pricing. And I mentioned to one of the other participants that there are reasons for having lower pricing as a self-published author. And one of those could be, if you're a newer author, you want to make it easier for somebody to think, well, this is somebody who's new to me. I'll get this because it's a cheaper price. It's not cheap, but it's a cheaper price. So I think I can pay this much, especially compared to what other more established authors in that particular subgenre are charging. So it's a lower barrier of entry. And so that's what writing was for me this week, because I was having so much fun with it. It was a lower barrier of entry to start. And with ADHD writing me hard this week, I needed that. So thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I'm so thankful that it is so much fun to write again, because I'm 4 chapters into this. I was not expecting it to still be this fun, because I'm like kind of approaching what a lot of authors call the dreaded middle, and I'm feeling really good about going into it. And so, yeah, so writing writing's going well, and I feel so confident with the process that I'm using right now with regards to trying to figure out chapter by chapter what I want to do. And so what I do, I can't remember if I explained this last week, but what I do is that once I finish a chapter, I let it sit. And the next day, generally, I will schedule doing the worksheet for the coming chapter. But the process of that is I go back and reread the previous chapter. I don't reread all of the previous chapters, just the one I just finished. I do some light edits as I read through. So stuff that catches my attention, like missing punctuation, or something like that phrasing strikes me weird. So let me make it a little bit better. So whatever catches my attention, I'll edit at that point, but otherwise it's just to read through to see what I talked about, what I included, what I need to jump off of in the next chapter. So it's a refreshing of my memory. So I read it as a whole, since generally it takes me about 6 sprints to write a chapter. And so I want to read it as a whole, see it as a whole, and then I move into doing this worksheet that I developed for myself about like what the goal is. Oh yeah, I showed that last week, I think. So basically just gives me, the worksheet is an overview for myself of what I want to try to accomplish in the coming chapter. And that really helps me hone down my thoughts. So that's definitely helped. And I do absolutely refer to those as I'm going through the sprints. Sometimes I just need a quick look and I'm good to go for the sprint. But sometimes, usually the second day, I need to refresh my memory, as to where I'm at, as well as where I want to go through the rest of the day. So yeah, so overall, like I said, I got 2 chapters written, and that ended up being a little over 7,000 words. So these chapters are running a bit longer than planned, but that's okay. That's what editing is for. And then was able to do the worksheet. So I did the prep for writing, and I also was able to prep 2 newsletters, which I'm really happy about because one is for the release day of the anthology that I'm going to be in. It releases a little less than a week and a half. It comes out the day after Labor Day. And so I've got the newsletter ready to go for that release day. It's been a while since I've had a release day newsletter. And then actually next week, there's going to be an associated brain fart auction, a word. So the auction is if you, I don't know if that I'm going to have a link here. I will definitely throw up links to it on my social media. So Crafting Ruby Dreams over on Instagram, I will definitely put that up in stories. But if you search for Descent Charity Anthology, you should be able to find some information on that website. I know right now goes to pre-orders. I don't know. I'm assuming there will also be eventually information about the auction on it. It's romancedescents.com. And yeah, so that's actually going to happen next week from August 30th to September 2nd. So if you catch this between now and September 2nd, 2022, I almost said 2023 because I have been living in the future in some ways. September 2nd, 2022, I hope you'll consider checking that out. There's going to be a lot of great stuff up, I'm sure. Typically if you're not familiar with auctions, charity auctions that Romance tends to run, they will very often have hundreds of listings for like signed books, chat with an author, if you're a writer, chat with editors, or mentoring chat with another author. So there's a lot of stuff that generally will be put up on these auctions. So I'm looking forward to seeing what is available then. And again, that kicks off on August 30th. So yeah, that's been pretty much it for this week. It's been a lot, but I'm really happy. Like I said, the writing's going well, and there's a lot going on. So one of the things like I said, I've been kind of living in the future. So because I was having so much trouble getting motivated to do some things with like general life, one of the things I did end up doing was creating some strategic planning for writing career. So that went out, and right now I have stuff out until 2025 because that's publishing. So I have the project I'm currently writing is going to be book one of a planned trilogy, but I also already have ideas for what the next series beyond it is going to be. And so I am really, really looking forward. So I was trying to get an idea as to just some kind of future planning stuff. So that can always be fun times. And so, yeah, so really, really diving into the future strategic planning with the writing career. So that's making me happy. So if anyone has any other questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. And if you're on the replay crew, please definitely drop any questions that you may have on the in the comments, as well as things that you would like to see me do videos on in the future. If there's any topics that you would like to see me cover or hear me talk about, please definitely do that. I am really enjoying these live streams, and I love it when all of y'all join in because it makes it so much more fun. Thank you so much all for those who are here live and chatting. And so I'm going to go ahead and end this. If you have just my brain went faster than my mouth. For those of you who are watching, if you could like the video, and if you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Also hit the bell to be notified for when I am back again doing this live. Again, not next Saturday, the September 3rd, but we'll see about another day, but it may be 2 weeks. So hope you all have a lovely day, and may all your dreams be Ruby dreams. Bye-bye. Yes, end broadcast.